In the traditional Chinese medicine, Zuo Yue Zi doesn't mean that mother has to do all the work. It's actually a collective work from family. It could be grandparents. It could be from the father. Sometimes you can get your neighbor involved. In traditional Chinese medicine, which you can see the practice in Taiwan, China, Korea, even Vietnam, that 坐月子 itself, or directly translated into sitting the month, is the traditional postpartum care in the area concept of Chinese medicine. And I actually think it's a good way to take care of the mom instead of just have the mother go back to work 1 or 2 weeks after giving birth to the baby. Why? Because in Chinese medicine, after labor, all the meridians and 脏腑 organ are empty. When I say empty, it doesn't mean that it's just dead. It's exhaustion. Because imagine carrying a baby or being pregnant. It's a project that has been going on for 10 months. So after a big project, of course, you need to rebuild, you need to clean, you need to replenish. So having this concept is actually, I think it's a great way to honor mother's body and also build a bond with the baby. However, the work is not just on the mother. So remember, there's a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. That is actually the practice that I think you should carry on right now, because in the traditional Chinese medicine, 坐月子 doesn't mean that mother has to do all the work. It's actually a collective work from family. It could be grandparents. It could be from the father. Sometimes you can get your neighbor involved. Of course, now we can hire doula, we can hire housekeeper. All these people can be our village to take care of the child so that mother can rest. So the whole point of 坐月子, or sitting the month, is about the mother replenish, resting, and building a bond with the baby, and also clear or detox the metabolic waste from pregnancy and giving birth to the baby. So that way we can restore the balance of hormone prenatally. And that also is a good way for a woman's body to restore that function and even get stronger. There are 3 key points of sitting a month. First, rest and repair. So rest and repair, what that means is that for mother, you have to remember this phase of your life is a way for you to recover completely and get stronger. Imagine that you run a marathon. You want at least a week or even longer to recover from that strenuous exercise, right? So having a baby, being pregnant also is the same. Being pregnant is not illness, but it does take a lot from the body. The meaning of recovering, you definitely need to rest. And resting doesn't mean that you can sit in bed or sit in the couch and use your phone all day. That's not resting. You have to do anything that can calm the mind down, calm your nerve system, calm your muscle, calm your hormone. And also that's a good way to help the baby to build a good rhythm in early days of their life as well. Second, restore the uterus function. When I say uterus function, doesn't mean that you prepare to get pregnant again. It's more about the hormonal function needs to rebalance because there was a lot of fluctuation during pregnancy. And of course, because carrying a baby in the uterus for 10 months, there's going to be a lot of metabolic waste. So we need to cleanse it. We need to make sure the uterus contraction is healthy and good. And also we need to replenish it back. Meaning in Chinese medicine, it's about removing the blood stasis, replenish the qi and blood, and also make sure the qi flow is smooth and unobstructed. Also in the concept of restore the uterus, it's about keeping the uterus warm, meaning that you want to keep the body temperature warm enough so that you have good circulation around the reproductive organ. One of the other very important concepts is nourish the blood. And what I mean here is that nourishing the blood is actually promoting the spleen qi and spleen blood production. What's the benefit of that is that spleen qi and spleen blood nourish our brain, nourish our organ. So remember that a lot of time we want to prevent the postpartum depression. One of the major way to do that is to nourish the spleen qi and spleen blood so that we can nourish the brain, so that the mom can have a more stable emotion, stable mood, so that you don't have the mood swing, you don't have the depression. The reason why we want to nourish the blood is because that after giving birth to babies, a lot of time physically mom can feel really weak, and that also reflects on gut health. When the gut is not strong, In Chinese medicine, the spleen qi and spleen blood is not strong either. Nourishing the blood means that we strengthen the spleen qi, strengthen the spleen blood production. And one of the most important thing is by doing so is to prevent postpartum depression. Remember what I said, that it takes a village to raise a child. The whole purpose of sitting the month, or Zuo Yue Zi, in Chinese medicine concept, is that mom is supposed to rest during this phase. You don't get to do that when the baby is starting to cry, starting to move, starting to walk or run. So this is the only time, the first month, postpartumly, the only time your baby's life that you can get to rest fully. So of course, I would tell all my moms not to be ashamed of it, because even in Asia, culturally, yes, I understand that a lot of time there's so much pressure on the mom that we have to do everything ourselves. But if you look at Taiwan, we have this center for postpartum care. Although it's a paid facility, but mom get to stay there as long as they like, sometimes more than a month, to able to rest and then eat and feed the baby on schedule. So a lot of time, being a parent is the least that you need to do is to feel guilty. You have to remember the bond with your child based on how healthy you are. Physically, if mom is not well, the baby is not going to be well. Remember that there's so much hormone that can be in the breast milk or baby can feel. So being stressed yourself out by feeling guilty is just not a good way in postpartum care. So take that off. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow me, and I'll see you soon.